So we do have some very exciting news. It has been official that Jason Momoa will officially play Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, which will be in theaters on June 26, 2026. And in January 2025, which will be in about 24 to 48 hours, they will start filming Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It has also been said that Jason Momoa's role as Lobo in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow will be more than just a cameo. He will play a big part in the film. As for a Lobo movie in the near future, the only thing that we know about the project is Jason Momoa will be Lobo, and the filmmaker, also known as an action director, could be David Leitch, who does and has shown interest on wanting to direct a Lobo movie for DC Studios. He is also the exact same action director who orchestrated Deadpool 2, John Wick, and Atomic Blonde. But going back to the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow project, expect for some sort of teaser footage to be shown at the end of the 2025 year, most likely around November or December, and we will get our first look at Jason Momoa's Lobo. So for those of you guys who have not been following Jason Momoa on social media, it has always been hinted that Momoa was eventually going to get the Lobo role, because he did put out a video about a year and a half ago where he was showing a lot of excitement on the new opportunity that he could get in the future. And I believe that in that video, he was being pitched to play Lobo, which was his dream role. He was very excited. Now, I believe that at that time when he was recording the video, he was not casted yet, but they did tell him that he was going to be the top priority to play Lobo in the DCU if it does happen. They just had to figure out at that time how they were going to introduce Lobo and when they were going to do it. Because keep in mind, in early 2023, it was very early in Gunn's takeover in the DCU, and they probably told him, if we do Lobo, you will be the lead actor. We have other options, but you, Jason Momoa, will be the top priority. And he was probably told by the end of the year, which was around November or December 2023, that he was going to play the character, right? That this was going to be the plan. This is going to be the roadmap for the next 6 to 7 years of your career. And there was much more clarity. This is the reason why when Jason Momoa was on the promotional run in Aquaman 2 at the end of 2023, he spoke about Lobo in a very comfortable way. And he almost spoke as if the deal was done. And he was saying things such as Lobo is his favorite character, and if he were to be asked to play the character, he would say fuck yeah. He also said that he wanted to play a character early in his DC career that can fight characters like Superman or Batman. He wanted to play Lobo for a very long time, but eventually he did tell the media that DC Studios, Warner Brothers, gave him the role of Aquaman, and he was not so happy about it. He wanted the Lobo role before he became Aquaman, so he was showing a lot of enthusiasm and at the same time giving us hints of what's to come in the near future. I remember when everybody was saying that Jason Momoa as Lobo was pure fan casting, that it was never going to happen, it is just rumors, but now seeing that it is a reality, I'm sure that all of us are happy, and especially Jason Momoa. Keep in mind that this has been a long time coming. I remember when it was said that Gunn was going to hire Momoa to play Drax, but Momoa did not want the role because he wanted more money. So Zack Snyder, back in 2014 or 2015, picked him up and he said, you're going to be playing Aquaman. After things did not really go well in the DCEU, now we can officially say that Jason Momoa is finally where he deserves to be at, and that is to represent Lobo. Peter Safran, who is one of the bosses of DC Studios, also said last year that Momoa will always have a home at DC, even if it wasn't as Aquaman. He said at Warner Brothers, in fact, his next movie is going to be Minecraft. Little did we know that he was also hinting that Jason Momoa was eventually going to be casted as Lobo. And so it's crazy because I believe that Momoa is going to kill the role. He already has the personality Lobo, and he's going to walk into this role with ease. I think that James Gunn is going to be setting up Jason Momoa's Lobo as DCU's Deadpool. So we are going to be seeing him pop up in multiple DCU projects, maybe in the movie Superman, for sure in Supergirl, maybe the Batman the Brave and the Bold, maybe Lanterns, you never know, right? Because Lobo is an intergalactic type of character. We could see him for sure, now that I do think about it, in Lanterns to make a small appearance. And ultimately, down the road, it leads towards his solo project that could be directed by David Leitch. And of course, he's also going to be given the power to fourth wall break, very similar to Deadpool. So if you guys are unfamiliar on who Lobo is, I'm going to give everybody here a brief understanding on his background, because I believe it's going to be very important for us to understand why he would even be placed in a Supergirl project in the first place. So he first did appear on Omega Men issue 3 back on June 1983. He was known as the main man, and Lobo was born and raised in a planet called Zornia, and at that time he was once the last of his kind. But when he was born and he grew up, he killed all of his people, all of the people that shared the same blood as him, and so he committed an act of genocide. And to him, he saw this as fun, right? He was having having a really good time. Keep in mind that Lobo is also translated to wolf in Spanish. So this guy really is a force of nature, right? He's savage and very much a predator. He's brutal. He does have a lot of toughness in him. He has superhuman strength. He's durable, has a great healing factor. So whatever does happen to him, if you stab him in the face, he'll regenerate from that injury. Very similar once again to Deadpool. So his toughness is legendary. He can survive in space unaided. He does not need to breathe in space. His actions are also driven by his own code. So he's not really a hero. Even though he could be, he does not act like it, nor is he interested. And of course, right, he is known for his crude humor, his love for profanity, his rebellious punk-like attitude very much represents who Jason Momoa is, and that is just going to be amazing. And he does have a motorcycle that allows him to have intergalactic space travel, so it's going to be amazing. He also had some interactions with the Justice League before. Sometimes he was hired to take them down or to join forces with them, and he particularly did clash with Superman. And the reason why they met was because he was sent to Earth to go take down Superman, and he was sent by the hegemony race. To them, they saw Superman as a bad guy. They thought that Superman was the ruler of Earth. So Lobo's arrival in Earth was to capture Superman. That was his main intent. And so what he did to get Superman's attention was to go through Metropolis and cause chaos. He even tried to attack a rave where Jimmy Olsen was at, which quickly did draw Superman's attention, and they had to fight. There was no other choice, and the battle was very intense. They did have equal strength, leading to a very physical confrontation. And just for the sake of this brief story, eventually they both accidentally trigger a hegemony device meant for water extraction, which teleports them all the way to Hegemony's home world. And on that alien planet, they were attacked by the security robots. And eventually Lobo just decided to no longer be interested on fulfilling the contract to kill Superman led by the hegemony race. Fast forward down the timeline, eventually Lobo and Superman became partners, and they decided to work together. And they just said, we're just going to be fighting another time. We have bigger problems to solve right now. So the reason why this is very important is because in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow comic series, originally Lobo was supposed to feature in that storyline. It was supposed to be a Lobo Supergirl comic series. But then the writers of this story, they said, you know what, I just want for this story to just be about the Supergirl, and let's just take out Lobo completely. They wanted to focus on Supergirl's journey of revenge across the cosmos with a young alien girl named Ruthye Mary Knolle. And so Lobo, in some capacity, was treated very disrespectfully because he could have had a great background with Supergirl and also with Superman. But fast forward a couple of years later, seeing how James Gunn is taking over the DCU, he noticed that this was something that did happen. He said, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna cast Jason Momoa as Lobo in the movie, and he is going to be in the project Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow because this was the writer's original idea, and he's going to be integrating Lobo into the plot in a very new way. So we're finally going to be seeing a story of Supergirl and Lobo together, which was something that we were supposed to see a few years back, but this time we will be seeing it in cinemas. So James Gunn has the opportunity to really do something special here. Keep in mind that it was also said that when it comes to the movie Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, the character itself, right, Supergirl's character, is going to be a little dark, a little complex. She's not going to be your natural good girl. She is going to be somebody that does, in a way, does resemble Lobo. She is going to be ruthless, and so you can see that Lobo's character will match the theme of the overall movie of the Supergirl project. And so I believe that James Gunn has been nailing the casting, right? All of this does seem like fan casting. He really is listening to the audience, and he's going to make it work. Speaking about fan casting, I also want to quickly speak about Bill Skarsgard, who was asked about DC. Currently, he's on a promotional run for Nosferatu, but he has spoken about him potentially playing the Joker, and this is what he said. He said that he would love to play Batman, Joker, or even both, but he did say that there is a cool version of him that can play the Joker, and he believes that he could play the Joker. He also said that the best Joker ever was Heath Ledger's. He also shut down the rumors of him potentially playing Lex Luthor in Superman. Like that event never did happen. He never auditioned for Lex Luthor, but he did say that he can play the Joker. He believes that he can take on this role, which is a very big responsibility. I believe that seeing what Bill has done in the past 8 to 10 years, he is very well known on playing a clown, but not the Joker, but in the project It. And I believe that that is where his confidence does root from, is the fact that he has played as a clown before and he can do it again, but this time in the DC universe. But I don't believe that we are going to be seeing any new Joker in the next 3 to 4 years. It's going to be way later down the line, maybe around 2027 or 2028. And that's because of two reasons. First of all, the Joker in the Batman, in Matt Reeves' The Batman, needs to be addressed. We don't know when that Joker is going to be making an appearance again. And also, Joker 2 just came out this year, 2024. And I believe that the audience needs a break after seeing so many different Jokers in the past 5 to 6 years. yes, it's true that the audience needs a break. We do think that if we were to ever see another Batman villain, it should be somebody else. Maybe Deathstroke, maybe the Court of Owls, anybody else will do. But Joker as a character does need some rest. But once that opportunity does arrive and James Gunn finally says, we want to introduce a new Joker, I believe that Bill Skarsgard would be great casting. So that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.